Hi, I'm Karen. Welcome to my channel, Not Your Average Weight Loss. So today's topic is about GLP-1, but not just the weight loss of it. I'm thinking about basically how GLP-1 makes me feel, what it really feels like to be on a GLP-1. So that's the topic of the day. Thank you for joining. If you're thinking about starting a GLP-1 medication, you've probably heard of the weight loss as a side effect. Oh, there's my cat Zoe. And you know, the weight loss is a big thing. It's huge. But what people really want to know is, what does it actually feel like being on a GLP-1? What does the injection feel like every week taking that? At least that's what I was wondering before I started my weight loss journey, losing over 50 pounds since April 2025. My 1-year anniversary is coming up soon. Wow, just around the corner is April. It's very strange. So I have some notes here. But, you know, there's questions like, does it make you sick? Do you stop thinking about food? Do you still enjoy eating? Do you feel tired all the time? I can tell you that after losing over 50 pounds to date on a GLP-1, I want to tell you all of the experiences I've had. I'm not a doctor. The honest truth about what it actually has felt like for me, and everything in between. So if you're new here, welcome. I'm documenting my GLP-1 weight loss journey as a 56-year-old mom of one, and I share the honest side of this process, the wins, the struggles, and the things no one really tells you. So if you're thinking about starting a GLP-1, or you're already on one, this is the video I wish I had when I began my weight loss journey back in 2025 of April. So let's dive right in. The first thing I noticed, the food noise got quieter. Actually, it didn't get quieter, it went away. So just the thought of feeling that no longer was amazing. It was incredible. One of the biggest changes, and honestly one of the most surprising, was that the constant thoughts about food got quiet and then disappeared. I didn't have any food noise. And I believe it was after my first injection, the very next day. So that's how quickly it was. And it was, like I say in my other videos, it was a game changer. This definitely was a game changer. I didn't realize how much mental energy I was actually spending and putting into thinking about food, what I was going to eat, when I was going to eat, what was I craving at the moment, whether I should eat something now. Should I wait? Should I get it now? Should I look in the pantry? Should I look in the fridge? All of the things going on, right? And when that started to go away, it was honestly freeing for me. Really, really freeing. I knew at that very moment that this medication, GLP-1, I'm on compounded tirzepatide, was going to work. That was my acknowledgement, that it was going to work. That may be one of the biggest benefits for me, not just the weight loss, but the peace of mind, not thinking about food all the time, and control. I had control of what I was going to put in my mouth. That was the biggest thing. The other thing is you feel much fuller, faster. This was a huge adjustment for me in the beginning. You can go from feeling fine to suddenly feeling very full much faster than you expected, and I was a little surprised at that. So if you eat too fast or eat like you used to, it can feel very uncomfortable. I wouldn't recommend that. That's why I recommend having smaller meals, eating slower, That became more important to me to manage that. And of course, prioritizing protein as usual. It doesn't always feel dramatic. I think some people expect to feel some huge dramatic shift overnight, but for me, a lot of the change were actually subtle. Like the food noise going away. That actually wasn't subtle. I shouldn't say that. That happened instantly. But like just things that you notice. Like I noticed that, for example, I was geared to more whole foods. I wasn't craving any sugar. My body was craving protein. And that was a big surprise on a GLP-1 for me. It wasn't like, and people think, is it like a switch that flips suddenly and everything changed in one day? No. It's more like gradually eating less, gradually feeling fuller, gradually noticing less obsession with food. For me, it was different. For anybody else, it could be like that, but for me, it was instant. And honestly, I think that's important for beginners to hear. If you're starting on your journey, this is the information I wish I was privy to. So that's why I want to share it with you. Some days you may feel a little off. I did. To be honest, there can be days where you feel some of the side effects like cold or just fatigued. I did end up with having a headache after my first shot for like 2 or 3 days, but it subsided. Some constipation, nausea, less appetite, as I mentioned, fatigue, feeling tired quickly, but it all subsides. For me, the side effects have been very minimal overall. I'm lucky about that, especially staying on a lower dose that I have been. I'm 3.0 milligrams, and I stuck to that. I haven't gone up. I did have, like I mentioned, the headaches, but like I said, it subsided. It wasn't, it didn't stay very long. And the cold, the fatigue went away. Being cold, I still get cold. I still feel cold a lot more than I used to before I was on the GLP-1. So I think that's kind of like a long-term side effect, if you will. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm just giving you my experience. And that's something I think is really important. Just because someone else has a rough experience doesn't mean that you will. Everybody is different. Everybody is different, right? Everyone is going to react differently to the medication and the dose. It's dose dependent. It changes your relationship with food. I was a little surprised at this one. Like I said earlier, it wasn't in a scary way. It was in a calmer way. It just changed the way I thought about food. I didn't feel like cravings were taking over. I didn't feel as though my hunger was controlling me. I feel like I have more space to make better choices now in my brain, of creating a healthier lifestyle for myself. I eat, whole foods, and the GLP-1 has made that easier to do. It's a tool that made it easier for me to change my lifestyle to a healthier life, if that makes sense. And for me, that was the most powerful part of the journey, of my whole weight loss journey. So it's not magic. It's not a magic injection. It's not a magic pill. As you know, the Wegovy pills are out now. So whether you're on the shot or a pill, it's not magic. And I want to say this because I think it does matter. Being on a GLP-1 does not mean you automatically lose weight without effort. It helps. It's a tool, like I mentioned before, but you still have to participate, right? For me, that meant prioritizing protein, watching my calories, going into a calorie deficit, because in order to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit in the beginning of your weight loss journey. Staying consistent. For me, that was number one. Every day, getting my protein intake, being consistent, doing my strength training, etc. Focusing on muscle, not just the scale, because muscle does way more than fat. And a lot of times you will get frustrated when we see the scale go up, but it might not be fat, it might be muscle if you're strength training. The emotional side is real. This journey is not just physical, it's also emotional. Very much so. You may feel hopeful that this medication will actually work. You're going to feel nervous. What if it doesn't work, right? Excited that there is actually a tool available now that is going to be able to help us. Frustrated. Why am I not losing weight fast enough? Why is she losing more weight and I'm not, right? Impatient. How long will this take? When will I get to my my goal weight, right? And proud. If you're doing all of the things and you're using this medication the way it's meant to be used as a tool, you should be proud of yourself. Even if you're losing 10 pounds, 15 pounds, whatever it may be, you're on your way to your goal, to your healthier body, to your goal, whatever that may be, right? I've had all of these feelings through my journey, and that's why I wanted to share it with everybody else. And I think that's something people don't talk about enough. So being on a GLP-1 isn't just about the number on the scale. It can change how you feel about yourself, your habits, and your future. For me, it was a game changer. I mentioned this in several of my other videos. It was the tool I needed to better my lifestyle by taking control of my health and wellness. That's my goal, to be strong. So if you're wondering what it actually feels like to be on a GLP-1, for me, it feels like less food noise, getting fuller faster, fewer cravings, more control, some adjustments, right? What I mean by that is if you've been here before, you know that I'm on a reverse diet. So I've upped my calories. I'm at 1,700, 1,750, I believe. So there's been some adjustment there, and that's what I mean by that. And if you want to learn more, you can go and look at my 2 videos I have out about my reverse diet to get some updates and get more detail. And the other thing, it gives me peace of mind, right? A lot more peace than I expected before I took this medication. I know this will work. I know this is going to be the tool in my toolbox that's going to keep me healthy, keep me on track, right? So if you're on a GLP-1 journey, please comment below and tell me, what has it felt like for you on your GLP-1 journey? What has this medication done for you? And if you're thinking about starting one, I hope this helped you feel a little bit more prepared. And don't forget to like and subscribe and follow me along this journey. And I thank you for tuning in. Appreciate each and every one of you. And you enjoy the rest of your weekend with your family. And I will see you next week. Bye-bye.